friends, I am back, and today's video might jump around like a bit because my brain was jumping around when I was recording, so it's gonna be a little bit slicing and dicing going on, but I'm going to try and put everything in a way that it makes sense. That being said, let's get into it. Now I am dissecting the burning handle by Geographer. Don't even let me get started on him. Just in general, I freaking love him. But this song, if you haven't heard it, go listen to it. Down and dirty on him. Under your influence. So, under the influence of the ego, heady and innocent, studied and passionate as if you could care less. So, you know, you don't think that you're harming yourself. Why would you purposefully, do that? You are innocent and genuinely unaware of the power that you have because you've been fed, as he continues, anodyne reverence. So you've been given painkiller versions of the truth. You've been given dosed down, because essentially what painkillers do is they numb your brain. They relax the receptors in your mind so you don't feel pain. But I don't remember if we talked about it yet, but we will if we haven't. Yeah, the misattributions of arousal. Pain and pleasure are on the same spectrum. So if they're blocking pain receptors, stands to reason that they're blocking the pleasure ones as well. So you've lived in the world that's been watered down. And I'm just going to read the whole thing because all of it goes all in together. So, under your influence, heady and innocent, studied and passionate as if you could care less. Anodyne reverence surrounds you and hems you in. Acolytes genuflect every night in your bed. Calumny, avarice, tragically pacific, following your bliss right into the abyss. Steal back your porcelain and effigy off of him. You will be born again into my reverence. It never ends. So yes, as we were discussing, the ego, you are just this little innocent little birdie who is born into a world that has been saturated with water. It's been doused. And you let this become your truth. You accept it, you suck it in, and then you let it limit what you can do. Surrounds you and hems you in. And you let it limit your true potential and powers. Calumny, slander, avarice, extreme greed for material wealth, tragically pacific. Like, these two things, unfortunately, taste so good. We love them. They pacify us. They make us calm. They gentle us into the night. And how many people fill their days with slander, talking mess about folks, and avarice, wanting more because you're not realizing that you have everything. You can't want for something that you already have. And so the idea of wanting for more material wealth or other things, it's one of the things that's limiting your, it's part of that painkiller medication that's being given out to you. And I mean, look around you. How many times, especially this time of year, it's like, buy this, you need to go get that, you need to go get this. And you're running to the store ready to trade in your phone that still works perfectly fine, but it's a year old. I'm about to spend all this money on this new shirt because that shirt's out of season. Even though that shirt is like just fine. You wear it twice. You wear it twice. And you're ready to like toss it out. And there's nothing wrong with liking material things. There's nothing wrong with playing the material game, so long as you know that you're playing a game and that's not the end goal. You won't be, you know, ready to take that leap because you weren't able to get them new Jordans. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people make these things their gods, their false gods, rather than accepting them as part of the game and tools to be played with. You know what I'm saying? It's following your bliss right into the abyss. So you following all those things you just love so much without realizing why you love them. You know what I'm saying? You're following that down the rabbit hole into what has been conceptualized as hell, the abyss. Like you've gone down into this darkness and you don't see any real way out, and so you keep buying and you keep talking mess and you keep doing the same things that got you there because those things make you feel good. They pacify you. But those are the exact same things that are leading you down into them depths. Steal back your porcelain effigy off of him. Him, I'm thinking in this case, is the leader of them dark realms. You. Let's be clear, whenever I'm talking about anybody, I'm always talking about you. Different parts of you. But take back your power from the false god that you created. Take it back. It's okay. It's yours. It's yours. And as soon as you do that, you will be born again into my reverence, into true reverence, into the real, you know what I'm saying? Once you stop taking the painkillers, once you stop the medication, and yeah, your back might hurt for a little bit. Yeah, your neck might, I got this crick there, my head got a little headache. But guess what? First of all, those are withdrawal symptoms. You got to withdraw from that pain medication. You have to let it go. You have to let it go. And it might not feel great in the beginning, but once you get into that real reverence, the true place of heaven, once you get in touch with the real God inside of you, it never ends. It never ends. It's everlasting. Like, what? This song is by far, like, I can't even, I listen to a lot of good music. I listen to a lot of really good music. So I really might be talking about songs pretty often here. But the whole reason why I even started thinking about this song today, the line, faith isn't blind. It's been playing you the whole time. Think about that for a second. People say all the time, faith is blind, faith is blind. That don't even make sense. Like, I guess what they're saying is believing is seeing rather than seeing is believing, which is true. You got to believe in things before they manifest in your 3D world. However, faith is not blind. Faith, meaning confidence. Knowing things that's not a blind act. You know what I'm saying? It's because we have all of the knowledge inside of us, and where you put your faith is what manifests into your world, point blank, period. So it's not blind. It's not some blind intelligence that's just acting on willy-nilly. No, your faith is quite literally what shapes your reality. It is what you see around you. That's what you have faith in. You know what I'm saying? Your confidence should not be blind. You should be aware of what you're confident in. You know what I'm saying? Because we all got the same amount of faith. Where you're putting it, that's the key part. So today we're talking about faith. faith. And I want to distinguish faith from beliefs and distinguish beliefs from thought. They are all connected in the way that my brain understands things. But essentially, thoughts lead into beliefs, and beliefs lead into faith. Faith being absolute knowledge, that's what you know. Beliefs are the things that, about 80% of the time, this is how things go, so you believe that it's true. Thoughts, that's the wave that we riding, baby, So first we got to talk about thoughts, thinking, and the idea that you don't necessarily think, rather you choose which thoughts you accept. So it's like, I'm reading this book, and he was talking about, I'm gonna make a whole video about this book because it's really good. The 3 Magic Words. It's a good book. I'm not done with it, but I read the part where he was talking about thoughts, and essentially saying that if you meditate deep enough and you sit and you really start the question of like, okay, who am I? Because if you meditate, which I have done, if you meditate and you calm yourself down to a point, you realize that there are still thoughts zooming through your head. There are still thoughts that come in and out. And essentially he was pointing out that, like, are you the person creating these thoughts, or are you observing these thoughts? And the more that you fall into that mental relaxation, you realize that you're the person observing the thoughts. You're not necessarily thinking them. And so he goes on to explain some other things, but for the purposes of this conversation, when you choose which thoughts you accept, you are essentially building your belief systems. So if you constantly have the thought going through your head, my back hurts, and you accept it every time that it comes through, then you're going to have the belief that you have chronic back pain. That's just something that you're going to believe to be true. Like, that's just a thing. You might hope that someday you don't, but for now, it just is what it is. Now, hopefully that's not something that you ever end up having like complete faith in, but like that's a good example of like the difference between belief and faith. Like, I don't think anybody will, walk around completely, I would hope that you would have hold on to some hope that you are not, completely a victim to whatever's happening in your world. But back to what I was saying, you accepting a thought multiple times creates a belief. And what you believe in, belief comes from the Old English word, belaufen. I don't speak Old English, so excuse any mispronunciations that are about to come out. And that means to allow. And so what you believe, you allow to enter your universe. And so if you have the belief that your back hurts, guess what? Your back gonna be hurting. That's gonna be a thing that you're doing. That's something that I'm trying to work on right now. That's why I use that example. But excuse me, my brain just like stopped working. Yes, so what you believe is what you allow. That's what you permit to enter your universe. Those are the things that you allow to happen. And then when you see these things become manifest in your world, then they create faith in those beliefs. Like, and faith here being non-ultimative, like, this is the truth, point blank, period. You cannot bring me any evidence that's going to go against it, because any evidence you bring is false. That's faith. That's faith, confidence. You know that this is it. And when you have a certain belief that gets affirmed constantly, because that's all the world is doing. The world is here to give you what you want. We all like to be right. It's their confirmation bias. Your world is going to always give you reasons to think that you're right. Interpret that however you want to. But your brain is going to always tell you that you are correct. And so if you have a bunch of built up beliefs constantly getting affirmed in your world, you're now going to have faith that that is what is true, that that is what is correct. And so that is what I mean when I wasn't the one who said it, but that's my interpretation of when Michael Denny said, faith isn't blind. It's been playing you the whole time. Like, it's not, you don't have blind faith. You have faith in what you are seeing going on in your world. You're just not calling it faith because we've been accustomed to understand faith as more religious, or usually something that's like you would think that you would put your faith in good things. Like I was saying earlier, it's like you would hope that nobody would put their faith in like constantly being in chronic pain, but we do it. Like, we do it. And your faith, like, faith comes from the, like, if you go back far. So it comes from the Latin fides or fidere, which is to trust, to have confidence in something or someone. But from the Greek word pithesthete, ooh, P-E-I with a little dash, T-H-E-S-T-H-A-I. I don't speak Greek. Meaning to obey. So your universe allows what you believe to enter it, but it has to listen to your faith. You know what I'm saying? And it was funny because, like, as I was writing, like, my notes, I almost wrote built up beliefs equal fate when I was trying to write faith. But there's really no difference between the two words, because if your universe has to obey your faith, that is your fate. Your faith is your fate. What you believe in penultimately is going to be your reality. And since we now know that faith is not blind, and we tend to have faith in the things that we see, whether we're calling it faith or not, we have confidence in certain things. That's how you get stuck in certain mindsets, you know, whether you think they're good or bad or this, that, and the other, you know, it's all a matter of perspective. But how you get caught up in chronic illness, chronic pain, chronic poverty, you know what I'm saying, is because that's what you genuinely believe in. That's where your faith is, even if you don't want to accept that as true. But you not accepting the truth is what got you here. It's what got you here in the first place. So just go ahead and accept that you have put your faith into these BS things for the last however many years that you've been doing it. Because what do they say? The first step is admitting you have a problem. You can't fix something if you don't think anything is wrong. So first step, accept that you fumbled the bag. Ooh, you was dropping the ball for however long you've been doing it. Accept that fact. Move on. And then take the next few words I'm about to say to heart. You really only have to do one thing, and it's so simple. And simple does not mean easy, but it is very simple. You need to change the thoughts that you accept into your reality. The thoughts that you accept. Because the accumulated accepted thoughts turn into your beliefs. Your built up beliefs become your faith. Your faith is your fate. And so that becomes your ultimate reality. So all you need to do is when you're sitting back and you're having a thought and you're like, ooh, for me, example, whenever I have the thought, oh, my back hurts. No, it doesn't. Like, I'm just gonna follow it up. I neither no, it doesn't, or I don't accept that. Nah, that's not true. My body is perfect. I am a temple. So whenever you have a negative thought, what you would consider a negative thought, just tell yourself, yeah, I'm not accepting that. It's not part of my reality. And you just do that constantly, over and over and over and over and over. And the more you do it, the less that particular negative thought is going to even pop up. So the less you have to do it. But I can tell you from experience, just even sitting here for the last 11 minutes saying the phrase, oh, my back hurts, my back has been hurting more than it has the last few days. You know? And so, yes, faith is not blind. But for the next few months, we're going to have to put a blindfold on our baby girl. And we're going to have to believe in what we can't see until everything else catches up. And then once the confirmation bias catches up, you don't even have to work anymore. You don't even got to do none of the work no more, because now you're just going to be confirmed in all those things that you have changed your beliefs to. Because you changed the thoughts that you accepted, you now changed your beliefs. And like we said, your beliefs is what you allowed into your universe. And then when you start allowing those things into your universe and you start seeing all these things that are confirming your bias, it's confirming your beliefs, your faith is going to change afterwards. Like, because it's not blind. It's not a blind beast. It sees what's going on. And it's like, yeah, okay. Sounds about right. Things are looking how I thought they should be looking. But we're just gonna, just give her a little cat nap. Ooh. Put a little weighted eye mask on top of her real quick. Let her take a quick nap skis while we shift the bias real quick. So then when she pulls the blindfold back off, she's like, oh yeah. This is adding up. This is adding up, because it's going to always add up. It's going to always add up to what you truly believe in. Your world is going to always add up to what you truly believe in, to what you have your faith in. So let your current faith go to sleep. Switch up them thoughts that you're accepting, which will change your beliefs. And then your girl Faith, she gonna be like, oh yeah, of course things are adding up. They always do. I think that made sense. I have faith that it did, to who needs to hear it. You know, if you understood it, I see you. And if you didn't, try again later. You know, more on that faith isn't blind, because that's the whole reason why I picked up my camera today. But then I was like, yo, I can't even discuss one part of the song without talking about another parts. So I hope this made sense. This was really just me rambling, but when is it not? All right, remember, have fun, stay safe, stay hydrated. I love you. Peace.